So welcome back to Social Enterprise World Forum TV. And I'm excited to be chatting next to someone who's dealing with a really challenging problem that's quite close to home for Australia and Australians, which is the problem of fresh water and plastic waste in Bali. So welcome, Jerome Van Overbeke, to tell us about his work in that area. Thank you.
Hello everyone.
So first of all, how did you end up in Bali? You're obviously not from there originally.
No, I'm from originally from Netherlands, grew up in France, but basically I just found the place nice and I wanted to do some social entrepreneurship. So I did research on some issues in the world, and it was basically water. I wanted to basically have an impact on water. And then I found...
Why water? What was it that struck you about the water issue?
It was just like basically, there's so many issues in the world. I have a corporate background, 20 years, quite high level, but I decided to change my life. And I said, okay, what can I do? And I read some statistics about it. I mean, like from the UN and also from the World Bank. And I said, we can have impact there. Because what struck me is like in Indonesia, still 27,000 kids every year die from diarrhea, just waterborne diseases. So this is unacceptable, you know. So that's what really moved me, and I said there are filtration systems, there are ways to avoid that, but they're not known. So that's why I came in, and I chose Indonesia because I found this company there having a fantastic product. I mean, I did research, and it could have been Cambodia or Vietnam. I met three entrepreneurs, three companies doing water filtration systems, and I chose the one in Indonesia. That's why I moved to Indonesia and to Bali.
Right, so you didn't invent the system yourself, you did the research and identified what you thought was the most promising technology.
Exactly.
And then you wanted to come in, and is it kind of like applying your business background to help actually get that technology out there and to make a dent on the problem?
Exactly. So my added value is basically setting up like distribution systems and creating awareness of the product in rural communities, because my idea did a proof of concept for 1.5 years, winning around villages, set up a network of 30 resellers in East Bali, where is the most poorest part, far from the, let's say, off the beaten track from tourism. But basically there's also a lack of access there of clean water, so my product was really perfect. It was a really perfect playground, if you can say so, to start and try to do a proof of concept, which I did for 1.5 years. In this place, and it worked basically because we could sell about 1,500 units over that period to people, where my product would represent still about 1/3 or 1/4 of a salary, even if it's super, affordable, but still it is a certain amount of money, and that's how it worked.
That's great. And so what was it that was special about the system that you chose to work with?
Well, let me show you.
Yes, please.
So basically, this is very simple. That's a little mini thing, yeah? It's a little plastic. I always say I'm going to do my Tupperware meetings with the women in the villages.
Yeah.
So it's a very simple system where you pour the water on the top here, and you have a filtration system, which is this one I will explain to you in a minute. You pour water here, and by gravity, no electricity, nothing, just pour full, and in about 1.5 hours later, you have about 6 liters in this case of clean water. For sure, we have bigger buckets, 13 liters, 27 liters. This is the small version, just for travel purposes. This one you can take on your, on trip, like to the mountain or on camping, and that's where it is. So let me explain you very quickly how it works. It's basically this is a stone, yeah. It's a hard stone, and it's ceramic, and water comes through here, comes through in here, and goes out here. And basically, there's very small holes, 0.4 micron. So they stop the bacteria, because bacteria are bigger than that, so it's kind of a wall. Bacteria are 1 to 2 micron. This is 0.4. Don't get in. Second protection, which makes it very safe to drink, is basically it's coated with colloidal silver. And colloidal silver is the most powerful antibacterial that you have. You can also drink that, and you get rid of bacteria and of a belly ache or anything. So when the water touches basically in the top bucket here, so if it touches like here, it's already pre-cleaned. It's already kind of clean. The bacteria are already dead. And the last thing is you can hear here. It's some little black stones which are loose, which is the carbon, basically the activated charcoal, which will stop chemicals, pesticides, everything you don't want in your water, which gives taste or odor. So then, in the end of the day, you have like very clean water to drink, and the beauty of it stops the bad things, the carbon, but keeps a bit of the minerals, which are the good things, because minerals are much smaller. Some are filtered out, but not all. So you still have, depending on the source of your water, which is often in Indonesia well water, which is very mineralized, coming from the ground, you still have minerals like magnesium, calcium carbonate, and all these things. So it's a fantastic product. This is the main thing, is the health issue. But the people I kind of target don't necessarily know about it, don't understand, don't have the science behind that. But what is important to them is that they can save money. This is the first thing. This is 5 times cheaper than boiling water, and 30 times
because of the cost of fuel.
Yeah, because you would either boil it with, let's say, sometimes like a gas. That's mainly what they use, the fuel, exactly. Or sometimes even they go and fetch wood in the villages still. And this has also a cost of time, and it's very time consuming. And also it emits, let's say, CO2. So that's the environmental part. But what the people really understand is it's cheaper. It's 5 times cheaper than boiling, but 30 times cheaper than buying a bottle.
Yeah, wow.
But that's what they understand. Now, having said that, it has a fantastic positive impact on the environment. With my action in 4 years, I've already saved about 11,000 tons of CO2. Let's say 11,000 tons of CO2 have not been emitted in the atmosphere thanks to that. We can measure that. That's the impact just of that product. It's amazing, and it's great for that.
That's great. And then another aspect of it, so this is helping, with the health and the needs of the local people. But you were, when we had the chance to chat at the bar the other night, you were telling me about the work you're also doing, reducing that plastic waste from tourists as well, which I was very interested in.
Yes.
Something that I always find challenging and confronting traveling in the developing world is they say you don't drink the water, you have to get bottled water, but it feels terrible to constantly be buying bottles.
Sure. So we work a lot. So this is a refill station, basically, yeah? So it's better, if you have this in, let's say in Indonesia, or the gallon, which is the packaged water, like the big gallon, but this is not environmentally friendly, this is not sustainable, this is much more sustainable. Plus, you can use this can for about 3 years before you change it. And it costs $10, yeah? So it's super cheap. So in the end of the day, what we do now, we work with some travel agencies, it's on pilot's phase, but like we put that in the car, we strap that, and then the clients don't have to get this, either they buy it or the travel agent will give it to them, and then they refill their bottle for the whole day. And the added value is also that it reduces a lot of plastic bottle use. And we have also in Bali some apps, it's called RefillMyBottle, where you basically can, a business will register on that app, and it's a Google map, you click, you can see the business where you can refill your bottle for let's say a small sum of money.
So when we first met, one of the things I was really struck by and impressed by is it's not just helping the health needs of locals in terms of clean water, which is incredibly important, but also a way of addressing the plastic waste that's been caused by tourism in Bali. Could you tell us more about that aspect?
Yeah, sure. So right now we're working together with like some travel agents or like destination management companies who also want to be more sustainable in their business. So they basically they're testing my product. They bring it in the back of the car, and basically strap it so it doesn't fall with water, and then people can just the clients can just refill the bottle. That bottle, like a plastic tumbler like this or an aluminium, but basically no plastic. Yeah. And then what they also do is when they go into these villages, they basically introduce this product to the local population, and with some head of village or like one of the community leaders, they will start to resell that product. So you can have some revenue streams in the village on the fantastic product, because they also basically they can save money, and then it's just spreading that technology also in the places where the tourists go. So it has an impact. The first impact, they're not polluting because they come on holiday and they're having a good impact on that, on the environment. But secondly, thanks to their presence and coming there, we can also diffuse this technology in the villages.
That's incredible. It's amazing how many different layers of impact can be created from two buckets and a clever filter.
It's
health,
very simple.
Environment, and economic as well.
Exactly, yeah. And the last thing I wanted to add is that basically, we also have this app in Bali called RefillMyBottle, and basically you can just download it and on Android or on Google Play Store. And what happens is it's just a map where it's businesses who can register, and you can just basically go and refill your bottle there as a tourist or as any person. So for free or for a small sum. And basically the idea is to reduce plastic bottle use, because on average in Bali, for instance, a high destination place in Asia, tourist destination place, about 3 bottles per day are used per tourist. So you can imagine how much it is. Even if I would refill it buy a bottle in the morning and refill it, you already save 2 or 3 bottles.
Yeah.
So that's a fantastic thing, and we're also starting to make this app a bit better and also trying to measure the impact. And my product is basically great for all these businesses. Instead of using the gallon, they would use this, and they also reduce the web footprint, because this is much more sustainable than buying water. They save money, and they just have to refill it.
That's great. That's fantastic. So if you're going to Bali, make sure you download
RefillMyBottle.
Refill My Bottle, and so that you can reduce your impacts when you're enjoying that beautiful place. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you very much.